Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We are going to be taking a look at basically the best match that you can get right now. It's going to be Snow going up against Rush. Top form from both these guys right now. For me personally, my favorite Terrans going in right now, like not my personal favorites, but like the guys that are playing the best right now as I'm casting this are Royal and Rush. They're both in unreal shape. If a Terran wins this ASL season, I do believe it would be one of them. I'm not even including Light in that. Like, I think Royal and Rush are just stronger right now, as much as I respect Light, ultimately. And, of course, Snow, finalist last season. You know, he's been so close for so many seasons. Literally, only Sulky and Soma have been able to stop this guy. And I still love the guy's comment. If the maps are good for Terran, does that mean Snow is going to win this season? It really might. If Snow doesn't hit, like, I think the people that consistently can beat Snow are, like, basically Queen, maybe, Soma, Sulky, right? It's like the very best Zergs. And that's about it. So, yeah. Anyways, we're on the map Attitude, one of our new maps. Very, very happy with this map so far. It's been really interesting to play on and to watch. Like, I feel like right now, and I mean, it's still very early, right? Like, I'm playing on these maps every single day. I'm watching a lot of games on the maps. I'm liking Attitude a little bit more than Octagon so far. It's a little bit more normal. Octagon's a little bit more wonky, so maybe that's why it's just a little bit more comfortable to start out on. But yeah, it's been a very fun map so far. I think a great replacement for a map like Polypoid. So, yeah. I guess that's it. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to ArtosisCasts. And please make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, all those great things. It is incredibly appreciated. And, yeah. If you have questions and stuff, leave them. And if I don't get back to them, just leave them on another video as well. I try to answer questions. Some days I get through more than others and get to look at the comments more than others. And yeah, I try to do as much as I can each day. So there you go. Yeah, without sitting mindlessly on my computer going through YouTube comments, because that's not a good thing for mental health. Although your guys' comments are great. It's not like regular YouTube comments. Anyways, it looks like probably a factory expansion here from Rush. He's doing an End Scout. Snow up here is getting the Nexus before the Dragoon. So that's... this is like probably the best counter to factory expansion. Let me think about that for a second. Yes, this would be the best counter to factory expansion that you can really come up with. Because, like, these 3 Marines and the Vulture you make have no real value or purpose. And this is, like, still a very greedy Nexus. Whereas if this was Nexus first... Now, this is cross-spawn, so, like, it changes things a little bit. But, like, let's say you go Nexus first. This build can bust that, especially close spawn. And like if you go range, for instance, this build is good at dealing with range because you have a Vulture on the map and they can't pressure your bunker as well because you might lay mines behind them, that type of thing. And like you don't need the Dragoon quicker than this because the Vulture's coming across the map right now. He's going to be able to kill this SCV and get to his ramp to block it. So it's not like and he turns around because like, you know, you're not going to get up the ramp. So it's whatever. He kills the scout probe. But yeah, this is basically the best counter right now to a factory expansion build. Snow getting a quick robo. He's sending his probes down. Rush just out on the map with his Vulture, getting his mines upgrade. And yeah, I actually this is going to be interesting to see if Rush wants to. I don't think he's going to go Starport. I really don't. I think going Starport against Snow can be hard as well. Like, you might be like, well, Wraith is good against Reaver, though. When Snow's using it, not as much. Like, Cloak Wraith was a build against him when he was really peaking and had, like, 95% win rate in PvT. Light was going Cloak Wraith against him a fair amount. But anyways, I was going to mention that, you know, I think starport builds are going to come back pretty strong really soon. And Rush is actually one of the better starport users. He uses starport with factory expansions more than most players do. Yeah, not as much as someone like TY, but more than someone like Light. Now, third base really fast. This... Wow. Huh. Huh. I'm getting a little bit of chills here. So this is incredibly greedy. The build you're seeing here, this is something you would normally see against like a Nexus first. Now, this wasn't Nexus first, but it was Nexus before Dragoon. So like it was a very fast Nexus. Also, to note, Snow is more likely to go Shuttle before Observer, or even possibly Reaver before Observer. So that might play into it. But like, for instance, if he was playing Rich here and Rich was going 3-gate Observer, Rich would literally attack across the map and kill him. This is incredibly greedy. And like, if you play this against like a B rank Protoss, it's very likely that they're going to kill you, even though you Rush. And it's not like Rush is magic and he can hold off 8 goons with this. That's not the case, right? Like, you kind of need them to do a certain build. Now, he does have a lot of mines, so he'll see things coming and he can set up like a better defense on the way when they're on the way over and everything. He sees the Observer come in. He's getting siege mode now. It's a good speed on the siege mode. He's getting... Okay, a few missile turrets are going down. I feel like this should be Snow's playground to pick this apart. Once shuttle speed is done, like how do you block? Like, do you just keep making missile turrets? Puts a turret here. This is a really good spread of missile turrets. Like, the weakest area would be over here, but Snow has to fly all the way around to get there because this is really well placed. But at the same time, he doesn't have that many units. And, like, he's very good at jumping. Like, he can drop a Reaver out and pick it up before it gets hit by the siege tank, that type of thing. So, very tough to block him in these situations. Let's see. It's going to go through the missile turrets. Yep. See, when they're that far apart, when you're trying to block everything, sometimes you block nothing. Ooh, very good hit. Ooh, he needs to finish that. Well, can't say I didn't think this was going to happen. Dude, he just is unreal with Reavers. It is wild to watch. Okay, that's a really good missile turret. He sees that, though, and turns around. 2 Goliaths are on the way. He's just following this. They're actually on the same worker count, but please note, yeah, look at this. He just flies right out. He did not even take damage on the shuttle. Or the Reaver. That's insane. 7 kills on this thing. Now it's going to be 8. Okay, so Snow during this set up a 4th base, and he's still only on 2 gates, LOL. This is going to turn into a very hard game, I think, for Rush. Now, Rush actually has an insanely good SCV count. He's done so well in that regard. Now, hold on. We actually have him pushing in. I'm a little bit surprised. He loses the Reaver and takes damage on the shuttle. So this was like way worse than everything else Snow did. He's still looking to eke out damage. Now, a couple things we got to take note of. So it's 4 base, and there was a lot of micro. So Snow doesn't have like a ton of gates yet. He's not just going to overpower Rush. Rush did way better on worker production. He kept a lot of workers alive. He produced a lot of workers. These factory ads are insanely late, but as I already mentioned, the gateway ads are insanely late because he went for a really fast 4th and was microing his Reaver very heavily. But like everything got pushed back a little bit timing-wise. Now, it's cross spawn already 4 base against 3. And what I think is going to become difficult here for Rush is I think Rush is going to have to do a move out. I do not think this is a game where you just siege up and take a 4th base. Like, he can probably take a 4th behind a push, but I think he is going to have to push, and it is a long distance to push anything here. But if you're taking a 3rd this fast, you kind of have to. You're kind of setting yourself up for an optimized push. So we'll see how Rush deals with that. Rush has a very good defensive area here now. A lot of missile turrets. Still, this area is a little bit low, but he's got Goliaths there as well. Added a secondary missile turret here. Snow taking a 5th. Yeah. Yeah, this looks like a hard game for Rush. This is not a this is not a position I would want to be in really against anyone. But he got his base up quickly enough. Like the third base was quick enough. Again, the Snow's gates were a little bit slow. So he's going to hit good supply and he's going to move. But Rush, I don't think can attack until about 150 supply. And he like it's going to be hard to judge. He might want to wait till like 180 supply. But if you wait too long, then Storm is going to be out and all that, and it's going to get worse. Snow right now just harassing the edges of the defense. Popping a depot, just being really annoying. You know, popping a depot isn't the biggest deal in the world, but still annoying. Let's see what this push timing is going to be. Is it going to be the 150? Or is he going to wait? Scanning a little bit. Lost a few vultures in there. Yeah, it looks like he's getting ready for the 150-ish. I guess he's 140? Oh, okay. Well, he's starting to move either way. He did lose some vultures out there, or he would be 150 right now. But yeah, it's kind of like a normal push timing. You know, you're hitting before 12 minutes. You have a pretty darn big army. You know Protoss isn't maxed yet. Okay, he's actually making really good headway here. The fact that the Reavers are only now forcing sieges to occur, that's quite good for Rush. He's got to be really careful about these Reavers. Oh my god. Thought it was actually going to be slightly better than that even. Some good, really good Scarabs still. Man, he really makes those Reavers work for him. Now this is getting tricky. Oh my god, that's a funny missile turret. That was... that was optimistic. So he's kind of set up in the middle. Yeah, I don't think he can go into this quadrant. I think that this is probably the best move he can do is hit this base. But look at Snow send a probe over here during this. It's going to take a while for him to push up the ramp and kill this Nexus. And Snow has a lot of options. Like, he can sit in an arc here and say, yeah, don't attack up through here. He could try a counterattack by going around the center. But also, as this is getting pushed down, he can just add other bases, right? If they're pushing really heavily and they're kind of out of position, you can just expand really far away from them. And it's like, okay, what do you do now? And look at this. He is getting into position for a counterattack. Still, it's a good defensive setup here, so I don't think Rush will die right away. Like, this can obviously kill that, but it's going to buy him a little bit of time to get some of his army back. You can see unsieges. He's bringing this army back. Still hasn't been able to push through this, though. Oh boy. The Psy Storm's really cleaning up a lot of units there, but he brings the siege tanks in from behind. Oh, Snow's targeting down the command center. That's really, really smart. He's going to lose the Dragoons, but he's going to get the command center. That's big. He's going to try to get a few of them out. Yeah, I guess he will get a few of them out, perhaps. Getting ready for another Nexus up here, and he still did not lose this. So he's still on 5 bases. Yeah, he lost a lot of army, but he killed a base. The 4th base did get taken behind by Rush, so at least he's still going to have 3 base mining, and he's going to want to start this up again as well. Now this, I don't think this is a good attack from Rush. Snow comes right in, attack moves into this. Kind of a sloppy push here from Rush. But Snow's army has been reduced. Don't forget, he lost all those Dragoons. Yeah, I guess Rush, I guess that was good. Didn't look good, but kind of worked out there for Rush. Now, don't forget, Rush's position isn't going to scale well, so this might be like his one chance to get something real done. A lot of Zealots flowing out now to help deal with this. Good Storm on those tanks. Hits 4 of them with that. Jeez! Alright, going to start laying some mines down here as well. Looks like we have 10 gates up there in the main base. Ooh, drags a mine in. Rush frantically rallying up his units. Still doesn't have that base back. Still long distance mining a bit. The 6th base here for Snow is going to be up pretty shortly. I don't think Rush's push is going to end up doing it. Really doesn't look that way. Now, Rush is trying so hard to hold this position, trying to get that secondary missile turret up there as well. His rally is just so far away, and the 10 gates just keep coming out and reducing these siege tanks. You can see he's really, really trying to get up here and hold the line. If he could hold this position and get it reinforced, like, there would still be options to win because he could kill this base. Looking really bad for Rush now. I have lots of thoughts on this. Like, remember when he was pushing out? First off, we already knew it was going to be a hard position. Like, I was already saying how, like, he's going to have to do a 3-base push. It's really hard to get through the center and everything. When he went after this base, these bases on the raised ground are so hard to kill. Because they just bring up some speed zealots, maybe a little bit of splash damage, maybe the Reavers, maybe a High Templar comes up here, whatever it is. It's really hard to commit to killing this. And like I said, they kind of run around, they do counterattacks, they expand far away from you. You need the speed of your push to be really, really good to kill Protoss. And like, you get so slowed down trying to kill those bases. One of my favorite pieces of analysis Tasteless ever gave was this deceptively simple thing, and I can't remember the exact wording, but the gist of it was, if you can't kill a base, don't kill it. I can't remember exactly how he said it, but it was a long time ago in GSL, and it just struck me as like this brilliant saying where it's like, yeah, I mean, we see people commit to killing bases that you know you're not going to get. How often do you kill that base? It's like, why are you going after this base? Just let him have it and do something else. And this isn't exactly that. I think this base is technically killable, but it's so hard to kill. It's so difficult. I think there's more merit in Rush doing something like doing the push to here, maybe poking, going back, clearing up this area, right? Just kind of like boxing him back a little bit, seeing what positions he can hold, because Snow's counterattack that killed us. If he hadn't killed that base, Rush would be in good shape right now. If he had been mining from 4 bases this whole time. Like, he's still in the game, right? He's still in the game. It's still a playable game. He's at 140. It definitely looks like Snow's going to win, but yeah. I guess you guys can let me know in the comments if you'd agree with that assessment. It's I feel pretty confident about it. Like, the thing is, I know these positions, like the position Rush was in, like that type of feeling where it's like, oh god, the push is like really hard here. This does not look like anything's going to line up for kills. And now it's like Snow just kind of has map control. I tell you, I really like this attitude map. I really like this map. This is so well designed. Yeah, a little vulture harassment there. It gets a few of the probes. Gonna try to block these zealots from running up and ruining his siege tank line. Shuttle over here with some High Templars in it. Wow. That's a really good hold from Rush. So grinding him down Psy Storms a little bit. Really, really good hold from Rush. I thought Snow would do a little bit better there. Very nice. Very well done. I want to mention something actually about attitude. The more I'm looking at this and I am getting chills once again. I'm getting a lot of chills lately. I think I'm just overexcited about StarCraft right now. But like, attitude, here's what I'm really liking about it. I think this map is going to make Terran players a lot better. There's nothing super fancy about it. And I think that the design in the center with this as the blocker, it's like and this is still reasonably wide, and these bases are like kind of hard to bust on either side. I feel like this map is going to reinforce really good fundamental army movement, which is important because that's where Snow beat Rush here. Rush moved to this position, was slow here, Snow ran around and gained the advantage. So like maps like this, it's kind of like Eclipse was so hard for Terran. Terran's got 1,000,000,000% better against Gas Steel. Like they just got so much, everyone got so much better because that map was around for a long time. That can happen. Like this map is going to be so much, I think, about fundamental army movement that Terran players should get a lot better at it. Protoss players, I think, are already better at that in general than Terran players. I think it's easier for them as well in a lot of ways. They'll have like observers everywhere. Yeah, you can scan as Terran, but it's like, yes, he's strong here, and then we move this way and down in attack, and it's like, okay, huge reward. You win. It's a very good reinforcement technique. Whereas with Terran, that moving back and forth, like, okay, you blocked that, but the reinforcement isn't there as heavily. Do you know what I mean? I think in other ways, Protoss has very poor reinforcement compared to Terran, like for mistakes made. But for army movement, they have really good reinforcement. I've actually never verbalized that about the army movement reinforcement, but that actually makes perfect sense because I think about that a lot with Protoss players and how like I make fun of Protoss a lot, but it's hard to learn with them in some ways because with Terran and Zerg, if you screw something up early, you just die. And it's like really good reinforcement, like don't do that. Whereas with Protoss, a lot of times you won't die, and it's harder to be like, don't do that, you know? Don't do this stupid thing. Okay, so Snow, once again, just kind of running in here. He's taken bottom left, so we're getting into a position where, like, it becomes unwinnable for Terran. If your Protoss opponent has 3 mains, generally there's no comeback. But Rush has 5 bases. So 5 bases is pretty insane for Terran, but yeah, I think he's getting a little bit too low. He's losing way too many units here. In fact, he's just going to have to GG. There's nothing left here. He might technically be able to hold on, but especially with Snow taking bottom left, it feels impossible for Rush to ever come back in this spot. Still on 1-1. There's not even a starport. GG. Yeah, sorry I went so in-depth on that as opposed to, like, really following the action of the game. It just seemed pretty obvious that Snow had it. But actually, like, I want to just reiterate slightly. There's something about the simplicity, but also the size of the center here, where if you look, a lot of maps that I think are really good, like Polestar. Think about Polestar's center and the different paths it has. This has less paths than Polestar, so it's less interesting in a way. But these are also wide enough that Protoss can actually attack through them. Whereas some other maps, like if you look at Fighting Spirit, right? The Fighting Spirit lanes might be that big. It makes a huge difference that it's this big here. So Fighting Spirit, it's like, well, if you take out the center, it's like, yeah, you're only attacking through like a much thinner area. It's a lot harder, right? It's an old map. It's a shitty map, we know. But yeah, I think this map is going to make Terran players much stronger because you're going to have to look at these positions and be like, yeah, that's not super attackable. Okay, maybe we need to go over here, push him back here. Like, you have to keep on kind of re-examining your position. Yeah. That makes me really excited, actually. Because I know that's something I have to work on. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.